Welcome everyone to NYU's third annual Pride celebration. I'm President Andrew Hamilton, and I am delighted to kick off the festivities. We have so much to celebrate. Take, for example, NYU's extraordinary community of LGBTQ+ students, faculty, alumni, and administrators. Through your talent, your passion, and your spirit, you make a tremendous positive impact on this university. We are also marking a special milestone this year, the 25th anniversary of NYU's LGBTQ+ Center. Over the past quarter century, the Center has been a critical resource for our LGBTQ+ community, allies, the greater NYU community, and university leaders, including me. The Center has provided support, mentorship, fellowship, education, leadership development, and guidance on policy and practice. It has contributed immeasurably to making NYU a more inclusive and equitable university. I'd like to thank the staff and directors, past and present, of the LGBTQ+ Center for your role in helping it to grow and flourish. I also want to give special thanks to the LGBTQ+ student leaders who have been part of the Center's founding and success since the beginning. As we celebrate Pride Month, we also know that the fight for social justice is far from over. Members of the NYU community around the world are organizing, researching, and educating in the effort to achieve LGBTQ+ equity, inspired by the heroes that came before them and united in the conviction that a more just and equitable future is possible. We wish we could all gather to celebrate in person this year, but our pride is no less heartfelt for being virtual. We stand with you, we support you, we celebrate you, and we wish you a very happy Pride.
NYU has for decades been a place that attracts activism, right? Students who want to make change, who are involved in social justice issues and want to push for their rights.
NYU was a super exciting place to be. It was, for me in my life, a really incredible opportunity for freedom and expansion and experimenting and figuring out what's happening and who I am.
The center for me was a place where I felt like I could be my whole self, and that would be honored, appreciated, and that I had value there.
Being right a stone throw away from Stonewall, where the modern day movement launched itself in 1969, right? And so really led by trans and activists of color, by like young people who decided that they would no longer be oppressed based on their, their gender identity and their sexuality or sexual orientation.
NYU, I believe, has the second oldest gay student organization in the country. Rita Mae Brown of Ruby Fruit Jungle fame was actually one of the student activists in one of the earlier gay lesbian groups back in the 60s. But by the time we came on campus, all of that had disappeared.
A few key folks in student affairs and in other places at the university were really seeing, how HIV and AIDS were having a huge effect on the queer community and particularly in New York City for sure.
We were motivated by the HIV/AIDS crisis. Much of the LGBT Center's history actually starts and is born out of the Sexual Health Advocates program back then, which was a peer health program. So Franklin Ricarte and I were two queer Asians who were both sexual health advocates, doing HIV prevention work amongst our peers. And we made a flyer that said, if you're LGBT and want to start talking, come meet us here. We thought maybe we'd have 20 people, and that very first meeting there was 85 students. This was before internet, y'all. I think maybe back then we were pinging people, like I think we had computers, but I don't even know if we had emails yet, and certainly not NYU emails. You had to run off 500 copies because that was email back then. And then we had to have volunteers to go in every dorm to stick it on every floor and put it on every bulletin board you could see. That was what community organizing was, guys.
A number of students who were involved in Queer Union were certainly involved in the creation of the center as well. They were, big advocates for it. And there was a couple of key administrators, particularly Bob Butler and Sally Arthur, who were both in student affairs at the time, were really a big part of moving this forward.
I think maybe the leadership was grateful and relieved that we were kind of leading this opening and this charge. And again, recall, AIDS was roiling, right? Protease inhibitors were not invented yet. So realization after the silence of the Reagan years that what we were doing was life-saving in literal and metaphoric ways. We were afforded leadership opportunities to meet others, who are organizing on their campuses. And that's when the idea or this concept even that in fact, universities should invest in a permanent infrastructure that supports LGBTQ plus students emerged.
You just let people lead the way, and they let them tell you what they need, right? When we really truly support and we truly make space for our LGBTQ plus people and communities, it just creates more space for you to be wholly who you are. Creating space for people to be wholly who they are, more liberating for all of us.
I also think it's a place that educates the campus community and holds it accountable. The center is a vital way in which the university can continue to move forward in reaching, again, its goals of inclusion and celebration and acceptance of others.
How are we showing up for people we do not share identities with them or experiences? And so that was when we created Ally Week, now Solidarity Week, and looking at allyship, looking at what it means to be in solidarity, what does it mean to be an accomplice of people experiencing different forms of bias and oppression, and what is our responsibility for creating a better campus community.
I saw myself reflected in the leaders at the center. It was where I got to explore the various intersections between my LGBTQ plus identity, my identity as a Latinx person, as a person of faith. There was a lot of room to explore and a lot of room to grow.
I tried to layer the intersectional piece. So what are communities of color thinking about marriage equality? How is marriage equality impacting our trans communities, right? How is, when we think about bullying in school or suicide for our trans, students, what does that look like for our international students? For me, it was always about where we can ensure the voices, the most unheard, that we try to integrate them as a part of the conversations that we were hosting and programs that we offer.
I think sometimes people may just see it as this small center serving this small population, when in fact the center is really a wide-reaching, university-wide serving center. How do we take the center and really elevate it and communicate about the center in ways that really honors its incredible contributions to the field of higher education and DEI work, right? I think in many ways we are a leader in this work and share those best practices with others in ways that might be helpful for them on their campuses. So for example, to create a space for NYU to be a leader in LGBTQ plus research and scholarship, and to really build leadership programs that expand them and imagine new and bigger things for students to grow and evolve and then take the things that they've learned and apply it to the world that they live in.
We're literally changing lives. There are students who have been involved in the center who are running LGBT centers on other campuses right now. That's really exciting. There's students who have met their life partners through programs at the center. There's students who have realized that they have a real passion for human rights and social justice.
We've seen such growth and ways in which that, 20 years ago, I maybe would not have even imagined that we would get to this place. I do want to celebrate that more people are feeling more empowered, to live in the world in whatever way they feel like they need to live in the world. And that, to me, is progress. The issue that I think we continue to have is creating institutions and systems that are ready for that, right?
You know, I've got a 12-year-old and 10-year-old, and for a good amount of time, they went to school in the West Village, and we would walk by the Stonewall Bar every day to deliver them to school. It's almost a visualization of the moral arc and how far it's bent. And still, there's more work to do, you know, but in these moments, I have deep appreciation of how far we've come.
I'm humbled and proud to have been part of that history and part of that process. But you know, as a graduate of NYU as well, I'm proud of you know, being a part of an institution that holds the LGBT community up high and acknowledges them and celebrates them.
The LGBTQ Center is home, a support system, a resource, and a powerhouse. We've accomplished some incredible things as a center, and to imagine what could be possible for the future. And that's what I'm most excited about, is to build a future for the center that's sustainable, that can grow, that can thrive and transformed into something bigger and better than I could ever even imagine. It's such an exciting time to be at the center in this moment. There's so much room to explore, innovate, do cool things, and to imagine new possibilities and better ways of being for LGBTQ people. It's pretty awesome.
Congratulations!
25 years is quite the accomplishment. That is older than I am.
Oh my gosh, 25 years, this is amazing. The center is a home for so many people and has given so much shelter to people across generations.
I know it changed my life, and it changed the life of so many people around me, and it will keep changing lives.
25 years of fighting and 25 years of protecting is something that's just so powerful and so amazing. And I don't think I can ever express how grateful I am to be able to engage with that and be in that kind of community that has really cared and has a history of caring.
It's been so long, but it's also, in a grand scheme of things, has been a short amount of time, and we've accomplished so much.
Queer people deserve a space to feel safe and to feel like they can be and do whatever they want. And unfortunately, we're still not at a point yet where all other spaces are like that. Having that space to build connections and learn more about yourself and educate other people and have resources for queer people, and just that place of learning and knowing and figuring things out.
I look at the LGBTQ Center as like a place in a space that does that, you know. Maybe your roommates are misgendering you, don't understand you, maybe it's your teachers, maybe you don't know how to like navigate the health center or going to the gym, but there's like one place where you don't have to explain who you are and like why. And I think that's the LGBTQ Center. That's what it was for me, and I know that's what it was for a lot of my friends.
When I came to NYU, I was very much like, oh yes, I know all of the LGBTQ plus stuff. I am like the gay activist. Like I know what I'm doing and I know everything. When I interacted with the LGBTQ plus center, I was like, wow, I really don't know. Like I thought I was like I thought I was up here, like at the pinnacle of it. I was at the bottom. I was baseline, surface level, like all my information was from Tumblr and whatever I found online conveniently. So I think the LGBTQ plus center in a way humbled me in a very good way. I very much needed it. And they were quite honestly, very patient with helping me learn and grow and like foster those sort of things.
I think it was the first place where I really felt like everyone there was a shared experience with me. And knowing that people can be leaders and should be leaders, and knowing that there's a space that's sort of fostering that and helping people like me learn why they need to be proud and doing the amazing work that they can do. It just helped me really grow confident.
I honestly love all the people there. I have made some of my closest friends at NYU there. I feel just that for people in general, you just wanna be there for other people in the same way that you wish you had someone be there for you.
I can look to this space as an example, and if I'm not sure what to do in a situation, I can always come here and learn and grow from it. It helped me become the leader that I am and sort of figure out how I wanted to maneuver the spaces at NYU and beyond that.
I'm pre-law, so I tend to think a lot about how I want to change the world, change the country. Well, for the center, I think go big. I have the biggest hopes for our center, and I honestly believe that we can achieve it.
I hope that they're able to provide more tools for faculty and staff so that they know how to best approach their LGBTQ plus students and be mindful of their specific needs and challenges. We're all there just to hear each other and see how we can best help each other out. So I would just tell people to just not be afraid to step in and try to talk to someone, because there's always someone willing to listen, willing to help in the best way that they can. It just feels really like a second home.
The center just has that energy where people just want to gather and feel connected, even if they're just doing their homework or stopping by for coffee and stuff. It's like standard Keurig coffee. It really, it's the coffee itself isn't anything to write home about, but the feeling of the coffee and drinking it in the center is the best part.
I'm just so grateful for the center and everything that it's done. I see the impact on students and staff. There's so much purpose and love that just radiates from the center.
At the end of the day, I feel like that's what is really meaningful. To constantly be able to hear each other, to give each other feedback, to provide each other with better understanding for certain things that are happening in our own lives and in our world. And I think that's kind of the beauty of the work that the center does and with all of its clubs and events.
To talk to people who see you for the full person that you are, the beautiful, wonderful, vibrant, trans queer person that you are. And so I think the center does something really, really needed. And I think that so many people's lives would be better if they went to the center. And I think that my life was better because I went to the center.
The center has been able to extend up until today. It's been because, people have not let it go away. So just thank you everyone for all of your work, for being supportive, and for creating this home that that we have found in the center, because that's also not something that just happens. It's something that is also built and created and maintained. So thank you for everything.
Y'all are awesome. I love you a lot. I know that a lot of people really cherish you, and I think the past 25 years have been 25 years of awesomeness, of creating a space that makes a lot of like beautiful people feel seen and heard. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you to all the people that have put in the hard work to make it possible. I think that's amazing, and I can't wait to see what else we do next.
Hello, my name is Dr. Lisa Coleman, and I am the Senior Vice President for Global Inclusion and Strategic Innovation here at NYU. I'm particularly happy to be part of this 25th anniversary celebration of our LGBTQ+ Center. As an NYU alumna myself, focused on queer studies during my time at NYU, the LGBTQ+ Center within the Office of Global Inclusion has played an important role in leading intersectional equity and addressing inequities across NYU to ensure that we are accelerating our programs to create a more inclusive NYU and beyond. The NYU LGBTQ+ Center has jettisoned NYU as a leader in LGBTQ+ higher education spaces, and for over the past 25 years, through its programs, education, policy development, and resources, has continued to be a leader. I am so happy that the Office of Global Inclusion is able to help shepherd this ongoing work. Thank you to all of the student leaders, faculty, staff, and alumni that have allowed for the center to grow and contributed to its ability to thrive. I want to share my appreciation for my colleagues in campus services for organizing this important event and for being an ongoing supporter of the NYU LGBTQ+ Center. And of course, happy Pride, everyone.